You are walking down a deserted road in the silence of the night. You are quite sleepy. You need to get home and sleep as soon as possible. But the storm and the heavy rain are making it difficult for you to get home. Still, you overcome these obstacles and reach home. After opening the door, a warm shower awaits, and the moment you've been waiting for has arrived. You lie down in bed and fall asleep within seconds. Now the storm and rain don't even matter to you, because you are not even aware of any of it while you sleep. Well, is it really so? Or could it be that the universe has never existed outside of you? In other words, if the rain you get caught in on the road, the sounds of the storm, even the bed you are lying on are not real, or if all these are a reflection of your mind, this universe exists only because our consciousness exists. Without consciousness, the universe doesn't exist. This view that supports this idea is called Solipsism. It may seem like a utopian idea. After all, none of us ask ourselves this question during the day. Instead, we accept the idea that everyone's mind is different from one another. For example, when we look at a lemon, we all might see its yellow color, but we are not necessarily seeing the same yellow. After all, we live in a universe shaped by our perceptions. Each of our realities is different. Oh, don't confuse it with Gnosticism. When I say solipsism, I don't mean that the world revolves around me. This is a view that argues that a person's mind is the only conscious being in the universe. Per solipsism, the universe exists only in our minds. When we die, we will no longer have consciousness, so we will cease to exist in the universe. In fact, according to this view, something that doesn't exist in our minds can never exist. Everything in the universe must, without a doubt, exist in our minds as well. The origins of this idea date back to ancient Greece. The Greek philosopher Parmenides and his student Zeno are considered some of the first representatives of this idea. The idea was later 17. In the 17th century, it becomes even more pronounced. Surely, no one has forgotten the famous phrase, Cogito, ergo sum, from Descartes. I think, therefore I am. The English philosopher George Berkeley took this philosophy a step further by saying that to be is to be perceived. According to Berkeley, the definitive proof of something's existence is our ability to perceive it. So nothing can exist outside of our perceptions. In the 20th century, thinkers who advocated existential philosophy, such as Nietzsche and Sartre, also helped spread solipsism. Because existentialism is fundamentally a philosophy based on a person focusing on themselves and realizing their own potential. Since the meaning of solipsism is extreme self-centeredness, it aligns with this view. Now let's do a few thought experiments related to solipsism. The mirror experiment, the virtual reality experiment, and the isolated mind experiment. For example, the face you see when you look in the mirror is your face. So, do the things outside of that reflection in the mirror really exist? If there is such a thing as solipsism, everything outside of that reflection could just be a mental product of yours. Now let's think about a virtual reality experience. As soon as we put on the VR headset, we find ourselves in a completely different world, right? So, doesn't this virtual world show us how our perceptions shape the real world? Our reality can be manipulated this easily. If the virtual reality world can be this convincing, then can't the world we call real just be made up of our perceptions? At least we don't have any evidence to refute that. Let's conduct the mind experiment. Imagine yourself in a completely isolated room. There are no external interactions or emotional inputs. In this scenario, if the existence of the external world is limited to your consciousness, as solipsism suggests, you would have to question the existence of the external world when your external perceptions are cut off. We can provide examples from everyday life that support the idea of solipsism. Dreams feel real until we wake up. The mind creates its own reality. When we wake up, we realize that all of this is just a product of our mind. So, it seems that the human mind can create its own reality independent of external reality. So, is there any proof that the world we live in is not a dream? The things we are sure of, in reality. If it is a mistake, just like in dreams, our memories can also change over time. We can sometimes remember them differently than the events that actually happened. Think about a picnic you went on with your family years ago. You're sure that the weather was sunny during that picnic? However, the weather was overcast. In fact, it was even raining at times. This shows that reality is shaped by our subjective perceptions, as solipsism suggests. The external world is shaped by our personal experiences. So let's consider an artist. A work of art is a reflection of an artist's inner world, isn't it? When we look at a painter's work, we are actually seeing a reflection of their mind. The artist's mind creates a reality through the work. When artwork is perceived, it becomes reality. Artist and work are mind's parts. If we look at it from a solipsistic perspective, both the artist and the work created by that artist are extensions of our mind. So far, we've only talked about concrete concepts. But what about abstract things? How does solipsism explain anger, sadness, happiness, and joy? In the end, all of these are common points for all of us. However, there is a similar approach here. According to solipsism, the shared experience of these emotions is a manifestation of one's own mind. Therefore, these emotions are another element that proves the existence of a person's own mind. So, does solipsism really exist or not? Can we give a clear answer to this? Do you think? Sadly, no. Every answer we give will be just a theory. Because we have no evidence for this. So, we can neither prove the existence of solipsism nor its absence. Maybe we'll never be sure about this. But there is one thing we are sure of. That is the existence of our own mind, our consciousness. So we should focus on that first. If the external world is truly a reflection of our mind, then what determines the nature of that reflection is our mental state and inner world, right? Therefore, to understand reality, we must first understand ourselves. And as we discover ourselves, the thoughts and emotions in our inner world will create our beautiful universe.